The old couple, Martha and Arthur, had lived in their cosy cottage for decades. Then, one winter, a feeling of unease settled in. Objects moved on their own, doors creaked open in the dead of night. One morning, Martha found a single muddy footprint in the centre of the freshly cleaned kitchen floor. It appeared overnight a size too large for either of them, and unlike any shoe they owned, the feeling of being watched intensified. Strange whispers like the rustle of unseen fabric seemed to follow them through the house. One night a bone-chilling laugh echoed down the stairs, sending shivers down their spines. They never saw the unseen guest, but its presence became undeniable, a constant reminder that they weren't truly alone. The attic held a dusty dollhouse, an intricate replica of their own home. It belonged to the previous family, who had vanished without a trace years ago. As a curious child, Emily was drawn to the tiny house. One day, she noticed something strange. The furniture in the dollhouse was rearranged to mirror the layout of their own home, even depicting objects they had recently moved. Then the tiny front door creaked open, revealing a miniature figure that looked exactly like Emily, frozen in a silent scream. Panicked, Emily dropped the dollhouse and a chilling voice echoed from the attic. "Don't you like your new home?" Emily fled the attic, the image of the miniature her forever burned in her memory. The old rocking chair on the porch creaked back and forth even when no one was sitting in it. 10-year-old Ben found it unsettling. He swore he could feel a cold weight on the seat sometimes, and the creaking seemed to follow him around the house. One night, woken by the relentless rocking, Ben peeked downstairs. The rocking chair was moving violently, but empty. A faint melody, like a lullaby from a forgotten time, filled the air. Frozen in fear, Ben watched as a spectral figure materialized in the chair, a woman with sorrowful eyes and a heartbreaking wail. Then, as suddenly as it appeared, the figure vanished, leaving only the echoing creak of the rocking chair in the night. The Harrington family, desperate for a fresh start, moved into a beautiful old manor at a suspiciously low price. Upon settling in, they discovered a hidden room behind a dusty tapestry. Inside, the room was bare except for peeling wallpaper, its floral pattern stained a rusty red. As they peeled back more layers, a horrifying truth emerged. Messages scrawled in blood were hidden beneath the wallpaper, detailing a past tragedy that unfolded within those very walls. The messages spoke of a jealous lover, a violent act, and a spirit forever trapped, unable to find peace. The Harringtons soon realized the bloodstains weren't just on the wallpaper, they permeated the very air of the house, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked within. Nestled deep within the carnival grounds stood a dilapidated funhouse known as the Lost Reflection. Marie, drawn by its faded grandeur, ventured inside. The air hung heavy with dust, and the distorted mirrors stretched and warped her image into grotesque caricatures. As she navigated the maze, the reflections seemed to mock her, their laughter echoing off the warped glass. Then a figure appeared in one of the mirrors, a pale, emaciated version of herself, beckoning her closer. Panic surged as Marie realized the reflections were moving independently, and the figure in the mirror seemed to possess an unnatural awareness. Trapped in a labyrinth of distorted reality, Marie desperately searched for an escape, forever haunted by the chilling image of her own doppelganger. The Grand Opera House stood silent, a monument to a bygone era. John, a music student, was granted permission to practice his violin within its hallowed halls. As he played, the melody resonated through the empty seats, stirring a hidden presence. A faint, mournful song began to intertwine with his own, emanating from an unseen source. The music grew in intensity, a sorrowful symphony filled with a deep, penetrating despair. John felt a cold touch on his shoulder. A spectral figure of a woman in a tattered gown materialized beside him. Her eyes, filled with an endless longing, seemed to pierce his very soul. The woman sang a final, heart-wrenching melody, then vanished as abruptly as she appeared. John left the opera house shaken, the lingering echoes of the symphony of sorrow forever etched in his memory. The old orphanage stood abandoned on the outskirts of town, its windows like vacant eyes staring into the distance. Sarah, a volunteer restoring the building, found herself drawn to a dusty nursery filled with rows of empty cribs. An unsettling silence hung heavy, broken only by the faintest whispers that seemed to emanate from the cribs themselves. The whispers grew clearer with each passing day, forming fragments of words: loneliness, forgotten, cold. Sarah felt a presence watching her, a collective sadness that chilled her to the bone. As she researched the orphanage's history, Sarah discovered a tragic fire that claimed the lives of all the children within its walls. The whispers, it seemed, were the echoes of their lost souls, forever trapped in the building they called home. Haunted houses are more than just spooky stories or tourist traps. They are tangible reminders of the past, echoes of lives lived and lost, often tragically. Each creak, each whisper, is a testament to the souls who once walked these halls, their presence lingering long after they've gone. The antique store held an eclectic collection of oddities, but one portrait in particular drew Emily's attention. It depicted a gaunt man with hollow eyes and a thin, cruel smile. From the moment she purchased the painting, strange things began to happen. Unexplained noises filled the night, and a gnawing hunger gnawed at Emily's stomach, growing stronger with every passing day. One morning she discovered a single withered apple core on the floor beneath the portrait. As her hunger intensified, Emily noticed a faint red stain spreading across the man's lips in the painting. Horrified, she realized the portrait was feeding on her, its hunger growing with her own. The old lighthouse stood on a rocky cliff, its weathered exterior a testament to the harsh sea winds. The young lighthouse keeper, Tom, found himself drawn to the narrow spiral staircase that led to the lantern room. As he ascended the steps, whispers seemed to rise from the very stones, voices filled with a desperate urgency. The whispers spoke of a storm, a shipwreck, a desperate plea for help that went unanswered. Researching the lighthouse's history, Tom discovered a legendary storm that had claimed a ship full of passengers years ago. The whispers, it seemed, were the voices of those lost souls, trapped within the walls of the lighthouse, forever reliving their final moments. Tom vowed to find a way to bring peace to the restless spirits, the echoes of their tragic fate forever echoing in the stairwell of whispers.